All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trucking California with Velox 18. My name's Nick. I'm the owner and operator of Velox 18 Trucking. I lease on with Silva Trucking. This is my rental truck. For those of you who don't know, I've ordered a brand new Peterbilt. It's actually been built. It's on its way to California right now. It's in Arizona in transit, and yeah, it's going to be here within this week, and then it's going to be in the shop for a couple weeks, buttoning it up, getting it ready for me to drive it off the lot. So I'm going to go and check it out sometime this week. Just kind of as it rolls in, whatever condition they have it in. It's not really ready to hit the road. It's not road ready. I ordered it specifically with extra parts in mind, so it's not going to have the right bumper on it. It's not going to have a visor on it. It's not going to have a lot of the parts that I ordered, you know, aftermarket. So anyway, all that to say, I wanted to talk today about the two choices you have, two choices you have when you order a new Peterbilt. You can either order a Paccar engine, which Paccar is Peterbilt. Paccar is the parent company, Pacific Rail Car. They shortened it to Paccar. So you can order a Paccar or you can order the Cummins. You used to be able to get a Caterpillar. My old 2008 has a Caterpillar in it, but Caterpillar no longer is available in Peterbilt trucks. So those are your two choices, and so I'm just going to talk to you today. I'm not a mechanic. I am the son of a mechanic, but he hates diesel engines, my dad. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this from like a mechanic's point of view. I'm just going to talk about the research I did, and I'm going to tell you why I made the decision I made to go with the Cummins. And then yeah, so let me finish getting this first load offloaded, and then I'll talk to you guys when we head up on our way back. And you know what? Let me show you guys something that happened on my first load right now. I had a little mishap. The guy in front of me didn't drain the loading arm all the way, and it dripped. Well, anyway, it's a long story to get the full story, but the fact is that it dripped, it drained into this bucket, and the bucket is not, it doesn't have great integrity, structural integrity. And so when I grabbed the bucket, it leaked everywhere. And so I wanted to show you guys what that looks like on the side of the trailer, because we've had a few guys who will start the loading process without having the loading arm down inside the dome, and we call it painting a trailer, and I'll show you why right now. Let me see if I get this thing going. Look at that. You see that? The yellow. Okay, so how about that? You see all that spillage? So that's what sulfur looks like. It's just bright yellow stuff. And so yeah, we call that painting a trailer. When it comes out, it's rust colored, but as soon as it cools and dries, it turns bright yellow. And so we've had a couple guys who have actually turned the loading arm on without the loading, the pump on without the loading arm down, and it actually will dump. I mean, they dump probably gallons and gallons. This right here was about a half gallon maybe, and the guy in front of me didn't drain the loading arm, and so I got covered a little bit. But I'm gonna scrape this stuff off. We're gonna headed back to the Bay Area to get our last load, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about Cummins versus Paccar. Let's do it. All right, so today we are talking engines. We are talking Cummins versus Paccar because those are the two that you can choose when you're ordering a Peterbilt. And before we get into that, did you guys see, I don't know if it came through on the video, but the truck that I was passing as we were climbing up the Altamont hill here, he dimmed his lights to let me know that I was clear and that I could get over in front of him. That is the appropriate communication, okay? To let someone know that they've cleared your bumper, all right? Flashing your high beams at someone is not the appropriate communication. Okie dokie here, fellas, okay? All of you who are truck drivers or aspiring truck drivers, if you flash your high beams at me, to me, that is offensive. That means you want to fight me. And I kind of want to fight you after you flash me with your high beams. So, you know, maybe we'll stop up here at the Pickle Park up on top of the Altamont Pass at the brake check, and maybe we'll throw hands a little bit, because you can't be flashing your high beams in people's mirrors and expect me to be thankful. You think I don't know when I clear your bumper? Now, if you want to be a nice guy about it and let me know that I'm clear and that I can move over in front of you, that's fine. Dim your headlights. If your truck can't dim the headlights, if your truck is one of those trucks where you don't have a way, there's no physical way that you can dim your headlights, I don't need your brights to let me know. It's not like I'm hauling a triples trailer back there. It's not like I've got 75 feet of trailer behind me. All right? I've got this 40-something foot tanker that I can see around the sides of super easy. I mean, I don't need it. I don't need you to flash your high beams at me under any circumstance, unless you want me to pull off and beat you down, in which case, go ahead, flash your high beams all you want, get a beat down. All right, enough of my ranting and raving about all of that, but whoever that trucker was, thank you for dimming your headlights to let me know I was clear. I appreciate that. That's a real truck driver for you. All these guys who flash their high beams, a bunch of losers. All right, on to the subject at hand. All right, so as I said, I'm not a mechanic, guys, and so my only comparison with these is that I had to choose between the two types of engines that Peterbilt provides, and I had a few things I was considering. One was weight, because with what I haul now, everything is based on weight. I get paid by the hundredweight, and so every pound counts. And the Paccar engine, believe it or not, came out on top of Cummins on that one. So I was considering weight. I was considering horsepower, and then I was considering obviously like you know, longevity, durability, you know, how long the engine will last, and then a fourth thing I was considering was the cost of repairs. And so all of those kind of factors, I kind of combined, you know, all the information I could gather to try to determine which engine I should get. And there was a moment in time where the weight factored in pretty heavy for me. I was actually thinking of getting super singles instead of duals on the drive axle in order to save weight. I was thinking of getting a tag axle or a dummy axle, which is what they call the rear axle if it doesn't have the drivetrain connected to it. So I was considering doing all of those things in order to save weight as much as I could. And so I was considering the Paccar as well. But at a certain point, my considerations for weight, I decided I probably wasn't going to be getting paid by the weight for very long. And this truck, I want to be my truck for the long term, for at least the next 5 years, if not longer. And so because of that, I kind of was like, okay, I'm not going to consider weight as much as I was. So I made all my decisions for my dream truck thinking, what am I going to be doing with this truck over the course of the next 5 years, not just over the course of this next year. And with that in mind, I built a quite a bit heavier truck. So yeah, those are the 4 things that I was considering when I was trying to decide between my 2 options. How heavy the engine was, how strong the engine is as far as horsepower, output, torque, the durability, how long it will last, and 4th, how easy it is to fix and repair. So let me get this load taken care of, go offload it, and when I get to the customer, I'll talk to you guys a little more about what I know about these things. And like I said, I'm no expert, but I had to do a little bit of research to try and make my decision, and so I'll let you guys know what I found out and why I went with the Cummins after considering the options I had. All right, let's get it going. All right, so I've kind of gotten used to the Paccar motor. It's what Silva has in all of their company trucks, and I'm familiar with it. This truck here has 750,000 miles on it. It doesn't have any blow by, hasn't had any engine related issues as far as like, rebuild type stuff. The oil's clean and good. It doesn't drink oil, doesn't drink coolant. Temperatures all stay where they're supposed to be at. The problems I've had with these trucks in my experience have all been all the things that hook up to the engine, especially the after treatment system. This is a 2013, so or 2012, maybe it's 2012. But anyway, so the problem isn't as much with like the block and the head and the mechanical parts as it is with all of the computer parts and the sensors and all that kind of stuff. So the unfortunate thing about that is that Cummins helped develop all those things for this engine. So no matter if you get a Cummins or a Paccar, you're pretty much getting everything. Paccar supplies all of the parts that attach to the Cummins power unit. So we're kind of all the things that I don't like about this truck that I've been driving for the last little while, when I was a company driver here, and then since I've been renting a truck, they're going to be the same on the Cummins too that I get. So really, I had to make a decision. Those 4 things that I was talking about. The first thing was the weight. So the Paccar motor is like 300, if I remember right. Don't quote me exactly on this, but I just remember being around 300 pounds lighter. So 300 pounds lighter, that's quite a bit. And basically it's just the engine displacement. I mean, it's a 13-liter engine, and the Cummins is a 15-liter engine. It's going to be heavier. That's just going to be what it is. And then if you get the higher horsepower Cummins, it comes with some different things. I've heard that it has like different injectors and some different things, so it kind of beefs up the motor to where it's going to be even heavier than this one. So it could be quite a bit heavier if you get the higher package, which I did get the 565 horsepower 2050 torque. So it's got higher torque, so it's going to have a heavier duty drive line, rear end. It's going to have all that stuff is going to be set up to handle more horsepower and especially the more torque. So I went with that based on the fact that I wanted the power. That's about the beginning and the end of it. I wanted to be able to pull hills. I wanted to be able to outpull guys. These engines have 430 horsepower from the factory, and then they actually turn them down when they get here, and they neuter them quite a bit. And so I've been driving these things up hills for a while, and I just can't stand it when guys pull right by me in a DD13, Detroit 13-liter engine, same size engine as this, probably even has 410 horsepower, but they just got it, to where it'll pull a little better than this one. So they got them set up to like save fuel and all kinds of other stuff. They've got some settings on them that do that, and so I really just wanted the big engine. I'm just tired of getting passed. That's it. That's all it is. I don't like getting passed, not by little company trucks, fleet trucks passing me, looking at me, laughing at me, trying to pull a hill. I'm always pulling 80,000 pounds with this tanker. Whenever I'm loaded, I'm at 80,000 almost exactly every time. There's no light loads for me. So anyway, so that was number 1. Number 2, I touched on was the horsepower. that you can only get up to 500 horsepower on this, and on the Cummins you can get up to 600. I decided to go the 565 route, so that leaned me towards Cummins. The third one was longevity. Now longevity, the Paccars are still kind of newer engines, but from everything that we've seen, they seem to last pretty well. I've got a couple friends and my brother who run Paccars right now. They're similar trucks to these, and I've been running a couple different trucks on the rental side of things for a while, and they seem to run really well. They're pretty durable engines, so I think that they're probably even, and I think that having them turned down and having less horsepower is probably beneficial. In fact, the higher horsepower seems like the less durability you have. You probably have a little more of the like heat, you know, going into the engine. You're running it harder because you're getting more horsepower out of it, and so it seems like there might be a correlation between higher horsepower and less life before a rebuild. I know my father-in-law had a Peterbilt with a 550 horsepower Cummins, and it needed to be rebuilt like just under 700,000 miles, I want to say. So it, you know, it's pretty early. So so that one actually leans a little bit towards Paccar, but it's a 13-liter engine, so if I wanted the power, I would have to be running a 13-liter engine a lot higher into its range of horsepower. I'd be running it at its limit at 500 horsepower if I wanted the 500 horsepower, which I want. So I that leaned me towards Cummins as well, because I'm getting a 15-liter engine and I don't have to run all 565 horsepower. You know, I can run it a little easier but still have more power than I would have had with one of these. And then the fourth thing, a big thing, is the ease of repair and cost of repair. And this is where Cummins has just head and shoulders above Paccar. Paccar, you have to use a Paccar certified mechanic to just access your fault codes. The parts are actually really expensive that are related to the engine, and Cummins, there's parts available everywhere. Those engines are so common. There's Paccar mechanics all over the country, so no matter what city you're in, you can find someone who can work on a Cummins. Did I say Paccar? On a Cummins. Cummins are so popular, and from what I've heard, I haven't owned one yet, but I've been told that the parts are so much cheaper. There is a guy in our yard, one guy at our company that runs a Cummins, and he's got the 505 horsepower. It's like a 2011 Freightliner Coronado, and he's had really good luck with that truck. It's got 600,000 miles and it's still purring like a kitten. I mean, that thing sounds so much better than these trucks. These trucks, they kind of sound a little chitty chitty bang bang style. They're pretty loud and clankety clankety, but anyway, so yeah, that's basically what I was looking at, was those four things, and believe me, I had to weigh them out, and really it came down to, do I want the horsepower? I said yes, I want the horsepower. Well, if I want the horsepower, then I'm gonna have to, you know, go with the Cummins. I don't want to push a 13-liter engine to 500 horsepower. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. And the ease of you know, kind of the repairs, you know, that I do want to own this truck for a while, and I want to be able to learn how to fix it myself. I know I've said before I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not, but you know, I also like to save money wherever I can. So you know, I'll be watching YouTube. There's a large community, a lot of guys who know a lot about these engines, about the Cummins engines, and so that's I'll be tapping into those guys' knowledge and trying to get all I can out of that. So anyway, those are your two choices if you're buying a brand new Peterbilt, Cummins or Paccar. Choose wisely. You know, you're spending a lot of money on the truck. There is a price difference. The Cummins is more expensive, but I mean, when you're buying a $150,000 truck, what's a few $1,000s to get exactly what you want? So that's kind of the way that I took the approach on pretty much the whole build. There's a few things that I wanted that I didn't get, but they're just, you know, they're like totally don't matter, like lights and stuff, you know, things that just totally I can add on later, or that will never affect how the truck drives. But like the power unit of the truck, you want what you want, spend the money. So anyway, I don't know too many people who would choose the Paccar, just because it's a 13-liter engine, and if you want power and you want to be able to pull hills and you want to be able to do you know, do all the manly things with the trucks that we do, you know, Cummins is the way to go. But I know there's a lot of guys, the 13-liter gets better fuel mileage and it's lighter, so there may be guys with certain applications that really want that, which I almost did. I really almost did, but decided to go with the Cummins, and I'm happy with that choice. The truck is going to be here this week, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to see it. So hopefully there will be a video this week of me kind of unboxing that truck. So we'll see when I can actually get there and see the truck. You guys hopefully will see it with me this week. So I'm excited for it. Hope you guys are excited for it. Love you guys. Peace out.